Hey, my friends, this is the Art of Prepping. So, just want to talk about some products. Some of them have been out for just a little bit. Some of them are fairly new to the market, like pretty much brand new. And I just wanted to kind of talk about this in terms of like what's the cat's meow in terms of the gear world. And I'm not going to get into like really high end stuff at all, or kind of like, sprint runs or limited edition stuff. I'm going to kind of keep it more like practical so that everybody can get a hold of this stuff if they really wanted to. And it's just more available across the board. And so I want to go over like 2 handguns. I want to go over a pocket knife and 2 lights and 2 bonus items at the end here that I'll keep as a secret until we get there. So the first product, let's just go with the handgun first, is the Glock 43X. Now, a lot of you guys have heard of it. You might have seen them before, but have you put one in your hands? This is where it just kind of blows your mind, at least for me. I didn't have very high expectations, though, to begin with. I was like, well, it probably just feels like a 43. And then I put it in my hands, and I was like, what is this all about? This is amazing. And so the longer grip and the change in the dimensions, making it just a little bit thicker, it just made such a world of a difference for me personally. Like, it just felt very natural. The point of aim just kind of came natural as well. Like, everything just seemed to be just right on. It's just a hair over like 16 ounces without a magazine. With a empty magazine, it's basically like I believe close to 18 ounces, and then it's just a hair over 20 ounces fully loaded. And so it's just not that bad, and it's pretty lightweight, and it's a pretty small form factor. It's not the shortest, gun out there by any means, but it's pretty narrow. I mean, it's well under an inch on the slide, and in terms of its width. So I was just kind of blown away by this. The price tag is kind of a little bit hard to swallow. You can get the bare basic model for like $450 range on average. And they have the AmeriGlow sight version for like $100 more. Some sites have it for like just $90 more, but still, it's a bit of money. And so it's a little out of the reach for a lot of people. But if you're just looking for a gun, maybe you're just new to the whole concealed carry market, and you just want a good gun, and maybe you can afford, a Glock 43X, you certainly want to check it out. It really impressed me, and it's impressed everyone that I've talked to. Even the sales clerk at the gun store that I checked it out, and I didn't even know they even had one. I was in there for a different reason, and the guy was like, "You want to check this out?" I was like, "Oh, that's just a 43X. It probably isn't nothing." He goes, "Put it in your hand," and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And it was freaking amazing. And he says that they can't even keep them in stock. Like, it's just sewed. And only reason I didn't get one at that moment, which I'm glad, because I don't have a lot of restraint when it comes to something like that when it's so awesome, it's hard not to buy it, right? But the gun that I was handling was already sewed. And he says that was the last one in the shop, and they don't have a clue when they're going to get another one. I was like, well, I'm so glad it's sewed, because I would probably have to get it, or at least I would want it really bad. And still want it really bad, but at least I have an excuse why I don't have one, because it wasn't available at the moment. So that's the first firearm, a Glock 43X. If you haven't experienced it, you want to check it out. It's a little bit more different than you might think, and for a lot of us, it just seems like it has the perfect dimensions in terms of the handle and the frame overall. It's just nice. It really is nice. So that was a big surprise. The second firearm, or the second item on this list, is the Ruger PC Carbine with the free-floated handguard. Now, this has been out for just a little bit, and they have, of course, the original model. And the original model is now available in like all different types of configurations, even in 40 caliber now. And they even have a special version in flat dark earth. And I'm thinking in the near future, we'll have a flat dark earth version of the free floated handguard version. So I'm like, whoa, if that happens, that's going to be amazing. But just the standard black free floated PC carbine and 9mm, I think is a win-win. It's an amazing looking gun. At first, when I first saw the first picture, I thought it was a totally different design because the handguard makes it look so different. And so I just wanted to mention that. If you haven't checked that out, it is freaking amazing in hand. It's not the lightest carbine that I've ever handled. I mean, it's about a pound or so more than I would kind of care for, but it's not balanced. It feels pretty good. And so I just love the fact that it can take, Glock magazines. That's just kind of my thing. Now, the next product on the list, number 3 here, let's go with the pocket knife. And it's the Spyderco Caribbean. And at first, when I saw this, I was like, oh boy, I didn't care for like the look of it, just because the handle, the design on the handle kind of threw me off for a moment. But the more I looked into this knife, and it wasn't even really me looking into it purposefully, I just kept on running into the knife on the web. Like everybody kept on talking about it. It's on forums. There's all these videos about it. And there's some very technical videos. I mean, and there's some like very high level professional users out there that know their stuff, that know their steel. And whoa, you talk about some amazing reviews of a knife. Unfreaking believable. This knife uses the LC200N steel, and it possibly could be one of those Goldilocks steels. It's like possibly like maybe the most, I guess you could say, the most practical overall steel that has been made yet. It's debatable, but this steel is just, from what I hear, unbelievable. The steel won't chip; it just rolls. But you have to put quite a bit of use on it to even get it to roll. But it holds an edge like insane in insanely long periods of time, and it just seems like it's just an amazing product. It's virtually rust proof. I kind of go on a limb to say that it's definitely rust resistant, but it's so rust resistant that it's virtually, I mean, with almost no maintenance at all, you can kind of have a state of no rust. Like, that is amazing. It's ranked a 9 out of 10 in terms of rust resistance. But basically, what the story goes is, as long as you don't put it in contact with other metals that possibly could be rusting, it just won't rust. So just by itself in salt water, apparently it just won't rust. So that's really, really interesting. And personally, though, I don't know much about like what I'm going to do personally if I'll ever like get one. I'm just hoping maybe they'll come out with like other blades, an LC200N that I can try out, because the design isn't like 100% me. I just don't completely click with this Caribbean model. But I can tell you though, if you're just looking for an all-round like ideal EDC, especially if you're around water a lot, man, I've heard this is like the cat's meow. The next product, number 4 here, is going to be a light, and it's the Streamlight Polytac X. Now, this has been out for a little bit. They have, I believe it's just 3 colors right now, and I have the flat dark earth that I used on my rifle build recently, and I really like it a lot. I really do. But a lot of people like it too. I mean, it's a little expensive for what it is. In fact, I think the street price is still, it's just a little high. It's just as high. You can get it for like between like $48 to $55 on average street price. I don't know what the MSRP is, but it's a little high for what it is. But man, it's just nice. It's really compact, and I love the interface. The interface, the 10-tap system is just, it's very nice because you can put it in different roles. You can have it as a weapon light that you can just tap it and goes right to high and high only. You can have it so that it has different light outputs and strobe, or you can just have it go from like, I believe it goes something like, what is it, low, medium, high, and that's it, or something. There's like different menus that you can pick. I like that, and a lot of people do as well. So I wanted to mention that. Another light that is really cool it's something that wasn't on my radar really, and it wasn't like really hasn't been on a lot of people's radar, is the brand of Lumentop. Now I recently did a quick overview of a Lumentop keychain light, and it's awesome. It's just by far my favorite keychain light. It's just amazing, the output and the runtime. But they have a pen light, a Lumentop pen light that uses 2 AAA batteries. And it's just very, very nice. I don't have one. I do plan on getting one in the future. But from everything that I can see in all the reviews, it's just a really, really high quality piece. Like for $20, like it's a steal from what I hear. And the light output is amazing. And if you look at, it has variable outputs that you can select from. And the run time on some of those lower settings, it's almost like, are you serious? Like, that is amazing. The run times are very, very good. So for like everyday carry, I mean, you may not have to change out your battery, but like once every month or two. I mean, it just depends on what kind of batteries you get, but it's just an amazing product. So there's another product there. So we went over 5 things so far. I have 2 bonus items. They both come from CountyCom's website. And the first is a credit card size little micro survival kit for fishing. Just one of those little like cards, but this one is very unique. I've never seen one like this. You typically see them made out of like stainless steel, and you basically just pop the pieces out and you have little pieces. Like in the fishing kit, you'd have little hooks and sinker and just little things, right? Well, this one is made out of titanium, and it has a backing, so it has adhesive. And not just that, but it is made so that the adhesive can also stick onto another card and kind of be hidden in the wallet and also kind of hold itself together. Especially when you take all the pieces out and you're using it and you want to keep them all together, you can put it back onto the adhesive backing and then stick it back to a card. It's very, very cool. And they have another one that is a lockpick set. Now, this is, of course, an emergency lockpick set. It's not like the quickest access to all, because you still have to kind of like pop the little pieces from the tabs. And this one also has a adhesive backing and it's made out of titanium. But from what I hear in my own circle of people, it's very high quality. The machining, I mean, everything, the laser cut and everything is just super high quality. And for the price, I mean, at the time of filming, I think it's like around $14. Like, I think it was like 13 something and change, I believe. I'm going off of my memory. I'm actually in the woods doing a voiceover. This is kind of, impromptu. But yeah, for like, I think it's around $14. These little sets are pretty interesting things here. So you don't have to worry about things rusting. It's titanium, pretty strong stuff. It's interesting. And I just wanted to bring this to your attention. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for your support. I'll catch you later.